Hi, my name is Ashok and welcome to my channel Read to Expand. Today I'm going to talk about the two very common words, namely saving and investments. These two words, saving and investments, mean the same thing or they are a different words altogether. If these are different things, which is better, saving or investment? Such clarification is warranted since many individuals use these two terms interchangeably. Okay, so we are going to understand the meaning of saving and investments in detail. All right, so let's understand the difference between saving and investment with the help of an example. Suppose a person earns a salary of 100 rupees, out of which, let's say, he invests 80 rupees towards the various types of expenses such as household, towards the EMI, maybe for the house, maybe for the car, and maybe some other miscellaneous kind of expenses. And at the end of the month, he is left with just 20 rupees, let's say. Now this 20 rupees is considered as his saving. Okay, now he needs to invest this 20 rupees into different types of asset classes to beat the inflation. Otherwise, the value of this 20 rupees will go down, and he and that person will not be able to meet the need of the future goals. So he need to invest that money into different type of assets such as equity, fixed income, commodities, real estate, or maybe the hybrid in order to beat the inflation. One thing need to understand that the kind of risk and reward is basically vary from one asset class to another asset class. And always remember the golden rule is that you should first earn, then plan to save, and then whatever is left out you should spend. But we first earn, we spend, and then whatever is left out we consider is as a saving, and then we start thinking about the investment. But we should always do the reverse of it. Basic thing is that whenever we do the investment, there are certain purpose behind it. Okay, and we should always do the investment keeping in mind the goals what we have. Okay, the goals we can divide into three different categories, such as short term goal, medium term goal, and the long term goal. The short term goals are of immediate in nature. Maybe you need it in 6 months time, maybe 1 year time, maybe 2 year time frame. So that is considered as a very short term goals. The medium term goals which needs to be accomplished in 5 to 7 year of time frame. Okay, and then the long term goals are those goals which are basically 10 to 15 years away and which you need to achieve it. So based on these different types of goals, okay, your investment duration and the type of asset classes needs to be decided. So always remember that the purpose of investment is to meet the goal, and the goal can be of three different categories. One is of immediate or short term goals, the medium term goals, and the long term goals. All right. So before you choose any type of asset class for the investments, there are certain important factors which you need to consider for the investment purpose. In my personal opinion, safety, liquidity, ticket size, and return are the most important factors for choosing any asset class. First of all, let's talk about the safety. If you just save the money and invest into certain kind of fixed income instrument, such as let's say post office scheme or let's say bank fixed deposit, is it going to beat the inflation and do the capital appreciation for you? I leave that answer to you. Second point is the liquidity. For example, suppose I need a money on an urgent basis. How convenient it is for me to liquidate my investments and get the money when I need it into my bank account. Third most important factor is price. Do I need 1,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees to start the investments, or do I need 1 lakh rupees to start the investment? Do I need 1 crore rupee to start the investment? That also determine the kind of asset class you are going to choose from the investment point of view. Fourth is the return. Am I generating the inflation adjusted return? If the answer is yes, you are doing good. But if the answer is no, believe me, your money is losing the purchasing power. Hence, before choosing any asset class, these are certain parameters which you always keep in mind and decide the kind of asset class for which you are going to opt from the investment point of view. I would love to hear your thoughts. Please do provide your comments into the comment section, and I would like to hear and understand the kind of asset class you have chosen to meet the future goals for yourself. All right, so let's understand one example for the inflation calculation. For example, product or a service which is costing me INR 10,000 today, and assuming the rate of inflation is 8%, what is the kind of amount you need to buy the same product or services after 5 years? For your reference, I have put the formula where R denotes the rate of inflation and N denotes the number of years. So you can put the principal amount, which is 10,000 rupees, plus 1 plus 0.08, which is the rate of inflation, and key to the power 5, which is going to return you the 14,000 and odd rupees for the same product or service, which is costing 10,000 rupees today, is going to cost you 14,000 and odd rupees after 5 years if the rate of inflation is 8%. So, our primary objective is to do the investment to generate the inflation adjusted return as I have highlighted in my the past slide, and you should be very very mindful of it. All right. So far we have understood the definition of saving, investments, and inflation. Now we need to consider that whenever we are doing the financial planning or investment decisions what we are taking, we should always consider few things in mind. The first thing first, you should define your goal, because once you define the goal in short term, long term, and the medium term, you will try to achieve it. Point number two, you should always have the adequate medical insurance, because I don't have to say more about it why you need it. Hope you never need it. Point number three, you should always have the term insurance for your coverage. You should never ever mix the insurance and investment together. Always have the term insurance for your life coverage. Point number four, do the proper tax planning. You should never ever go into the last quarter or the last month or the last day to do the tax planning. In fact, you should begin in the first week of April for a tax planning. The last point, maybe the second last point I would like to highlight that we always forget is that whatever the investment we should do, we should always, you know, put the nominee in place. It's very, very important. Last but not the least, which I have also learned in a very hard way, is having the emergency fund. You do not know when you need it. So you should always have the emergency fund for 5 to 6 months, or based on need, maybe for 1 year in the liquid form. Okay. You should have the emergency fund. Always keep in mind these are the important factors you need to consider before you embark your journey for the financial planning. So with this, we come to an end of this video. I would like to understand if you find this content of today's video useful. I would love to hear your voice. Why don't you put your comments and the thoughts into the comment section of this video? And if you like this channel, please do subscribe and also share with your friends and family. It might help them. I am really grateful to you for your time, and thank you very much. Thank you very much.